Okay, to give you an idea of Saturnian, true Saturnian power, energy. Okay, this right here is August of 2014. Right here. This right here, I was 260. But this was in, I think, 2007. This was. Yeah, and then 7 years later, here. But remember, December 17th, 2014 was this, that picture. So in August of 2014, this is me trying to get my shit together, doing a picture, but there were 3 more relapses, I think, between there and December. Okay, so literally though, August, September, October, November, December. So, and we'll say roughly 4 months. Okay, this is what alcohol does, that spirit. So I'm sitting here trying to get my shit together. At least I'm trying what was in me, I guess. I'm trying to be worldly neutral. So I'm trying, but I'm showing you this fucking demon, what it does. So even when you're trying to get your shit together, do a before and after picture, it goes from here to there. So in 4 months period, I went from that to being positive to almost dying. Okay? To that right there. And then slowly, the middle picture, this is what's crazy. My dad is always in a hurry. And after the first year of being in this from there, I blew up these pictures and we went to the gym. And these pictures, that's day 1. The middle, that's 90 days. That's 6 months. That's 9 months. And then finally a year. On December 17th, 2015. 215. You understand? And remember, if you've followed along, we've talked about how my sleeves, my tattoos, my ink, my marks are heaven and hell. On the right side, which is the right path, we put hell. And on the left side, we put heaven. And that has a lot to do with this journey, and I still need to do a video about that. But the whole thing is anything that's gone on with me has not been the way this world would tell you to do it, especially this. The reason that the companies grabbed it, it's because this picture is powerful. Matt didn't do that. What's in him, the Saturnian power did it. Okay, and it has to do with heavy shit. Okay? This right here was, I think, at 11 months. So from there to there, in 11 months, from that prior, and I mean, I worked out when I was younger, but I was nothing like that, this anatomy. And that right there is at 39 years old with cornrows. And the ironic thing is Venus controls corn when we're looking at stuff, but Saturn has a whole lot to do with corn. Corn, eggs, and all this shit. Okay? But if he didn't have prior training, like when he was in high school, he'd gotten some trouble. And then the guy, another messenger, just like Michael, in the video, the other one, if you watched it, if you want me to use fucking color, the black guy, I'm the white guy. Poles. And see, as much as they try to drive us at each other, they couldn't stop that connection to produce this. They couldn't stop that. You can't stop what's going on. And I can't explain that. But without the prior training, and then Michael coming along, and saying you got to learn how to combine all this. Okay? He was consolidating Saturn, the energy, the hierarchical being of Saturn, worked through Michael to combine everything in this man's past life to create this in less than a year. And then eventually do this and send it to these companies, the journals and all that shit, to where the editors even called and said, "Mr. Childs, is this a joke?" And it's like, "No." "Well, what made you do this?" And it's like, "Well, I almost died. So I just stayed in it every day and I wrote down everything that I did." They thought it was another company playing a joke on them because they had never seen anything like that. Okay? That kind of structure, okay, and that kind of accountability day after day after day after day. And the ironic thing is we stayed in it for 33 months. Yeah, 33. Because sooner or later, when people are around you, you're just so fucking structured and they're so pathetic that they don't want you to win. These human beings are not real. They think they have sympathy and empathy, but they don't. They have no emotions whatsoever. They can't understand how important it is, or how insane it is to go from that to that. It doesn't matter. Take him out of it, any human being. But then you have to tie in the ancient history that we've been kept from, and how certain portals, energy, beings get through to certain cavities that are open and that are broken to the point to where they want better. And there ain't nobody fucking listening. And then they come in and they take over. And truthfully, you know what's going on? It's been a long time since something has been here through these eyes in physical form and has witnessed and has experienced emotions that these fucking demons have put into these human goy. Okay? Looking here from the other side's not like looking here from this side. I'm scaring you now. Okay? And you've always heard this, that how do you know you're not being fucking tested? You understand? This man's whole family has turned their back on him in 90% of the ways. People around him have turned their backs on him. They have fucking left him in order to live selfish, disgusting, pathetic lifestyles based off of pieces of paper that says, "We're right, Matt." Based off structures that you see that claim they're for Jesus, but they're satanic indoctrinating factories for soul harvesting for the sphere of fucking pure demonism. Okay? Usually when something like that would happen, but see, the thing is this. When you grow up and there's gas stations everywhere and the fucking Bud Light and Pabst Blue Ribbon and whatever ads are there, you grow into that. Okay? Prior to this nation, there was never a fucking nation on earth, ever, in the existence that glorified alcohol. Ever. It's a dead being spirit. And the way that this English demon spirit is set up in this land, it is set up through slow decay. Real quick. I ain't going to get into that. Okay. Slow. Right there it is. Slow Goyim decay. That's 666. Right there. Okay. So when you set up a land, And real quick on the radio and then the movies and shit in the middle of the 1900s, early and late, they glorified women, like smacking them and shit. So, you know, it's whatever we want to introduce into society is what they'll grow into. You understand? And, you know, when you glorify a substance like alcohol, okay, and then you have a monetary system, which is not real. It's pure Arianism, pure materialism. It destroys everything. So when you have corporations and factories that offer these opportunities to make good money, they know the percentage of the people that do drink are going to control it. But yet they're not controlling it, it's controlling them. That they go and do their labor, slave labor, and then they go numb themselves. And then they think they're controlling it, but that's their lifestyle is a numbed existence. And then they have a family, and then the whole neighborhood looks up to them, and they go to that church, and they're a pillar of the community. Even not drinking a lot. And that's not real. Do you understand that? It should never be there. There should never be that shit anywhere whatsoever. You know. And truthfully, when we get into these numbers, you know, nobody can see them. They can't understand them. For one, the math you're given, the numbers that you're given, and that you learn how to add and subtract, what little bit that the average goy knows is only to adjust what little money they have, their account, their credit cards. So as slave trading demons, we create chattel, goyim, slavery. So we're going to create all this shit up here that's going to control you, that's going to keep you busy and keep you connected to your accounts, okay? And it all has to do with numbers. So we're going to teach you down here in your school the lowest form of math possible, just to fucking look at street signs, numbers, addresses, money, socials. That's it. That's it. There is zero fucking spirit in there that has to do with our spirit. It's a spirit, but it's designed to make your spirit mentally challenged, like we've said. Okay, you're taught the alphabet to just read the signs to go to the stores and to buy the substance to introduce into here to destroy the anatomy. And then just the same way that the alcohol is glorified and then normalized is the same way that the wrappers on the food. You're not real human beings. You have been raised into a fake black magic, a fake existence, which means only one thing. You're not a real godly person. You're a worldly spirit who is consumed and connected to substances created by man. Not only that, they manipulate these chemicals through our own spirit, which is nature. And then they use nature, our spirit, as a medium to give you taste buds that gives you diabetes. Tell me how good Satan is. But we got one now here that can see it. Not just to see it, but it's... the past 2 days has really fucked him up. He's been given some shit that he can't even write down, much less talk about. He can't do it. No mortal mind would be able to handle anything that this man has gone through. Losing everybody for selfish lifestyles. Relapse after relapse after relapse he had. And he's healthier than everybody around him. More sound-minded. He's more structured. He is fucking accountable every which way. And when you look at the groups that he's around, they're all fucking pathetic. So when you can understand that this shit right here is a fucking demon and it creates fucking idiot demons, then you're making waves. And you truthfully are. Okay? I was going to do a fucking video on Black's Law Dictionary. And I have no idea how all this shit just flew out. But it did. It's just like with, he's tried to tell you. Like right here, this is basil. Everything's dying. This is dill. But I chew on this. All this has been charged. It's been charged. Okay? All this has been charged, and I consume this spirit, this being. Same way the wrappers in the stores and the chemicals have been charged with fucking black magic magicians that have holly sticks like this, only bigger, with all the constellations on it and all kinds of fucking decorations, and they charge the fucking numbers on the chemicals in the packages, and their demons go into them, and they go into the taste buds in the brain, and it sets off neurons, and they turn into this goddamn demon. Don't you listen to Matt. Fuck, I can't stop this shit coming through me. Ugh. So he takes a bath. He boils these herbs and extracts the spirit, and then puts it in the water and absorbs the water. Orb is in absorb because of the orbs up there. He's absorbing the archi, the archangeli, the angeli. These are fucking hierarchical beings that we are connected to. But the average guy is not. It's because they're connected to these substances in those packages. And getting, oh goddamn, we gotta rub all this shit on us and get sick. And just look at them. Look how fucking demonic they are. They're just sitting there. They give them Skechers. Hell yeah. That way you don't bend over. Now we're really fucking your veins and your back up and everything, you fucking stupid goy demon. And the reason we're saying something like this is because I'm sure somebody might watch this that knows me around here. And I'll say this again, just like on Sicario. When he tells that fucking dumb gung-ho woman, he says, listen. At the end, he said, let me tell you something. He said, you come from a small town where a small sheriff and all that still fucking rules the land around there. And he said, this world is ran by wolves. But he also tells her that you went down the wrong fucking passage. You went down a hallway that you wasn't supposed to go down. You seen some shit you wasn't supposed to see. You heard some shit you wasn't supposed to hear. Do you see what I mean? So if you're listening to this, you're out of your program. Now you can get on this fucking side. But I very highly seriously doubt that you're going to cut every fucking impulse that's controlling you that are demonic. You're being guided by demons. All the chemicals and substances and everything that we consume is spirit, whether you like it or not. So if a child's taught at a young age, is this good spirit, this bad spirit? No, they're created into the fucking screens, into the fucking chemicals, and then they're demons. And then they go to these fucking huge structures called fake churches, which are Kirkies, Mother Kirks, which are demonic fucking satanic factories for souls. They are. Oh, they'll look at you and they'll tell you you are fucking crazy. Go grab this and ask them, say, would Jesus run around this every day going, hey, let's go follow this around? So you've gotten a little bit more a glimpse of Saturnian power. All right. And I'll try to think about some stuff that I could say about what has been given to me. The same way people have visions of commercials, they take that shit to bed with them, and then they go take pills and it's numbers on them. They've been hexed. They've been charged. There's a seal that you bust. A seal. a seal that you bust. Here's Crawley shit again. There's fuck. This ain't the book. A seal is a force. It's a signature, but it's a force. So when you pop that seal, that's like a genie in the bottle. So when you pop that seal and take that, you're taking a fucking black magic potion. And then as a child, they're all grown into it. And then they get these shots at a young age, and there's no soul. There's no spirit in that baby or child. There's nothing in anybody. They're just these screams. It's crazy. Look, as a demon, we create these towns. So and then we create these fake groups, and, we literally raise states, as Jesuits, and as, they think they're in this fucking secret club, and we're literally funding them to just live there and just go along with what we do. And then states, and that think they're free, we'll get them eventually. We're just fucking with them right now, just agitating the shit out of them. These goy are so dumb. When 9/11 happened, there's been some very childish shit to happen, in this nation, to where if what really happened, then those people, they didn't just get all of them. That kind of a group with that kind of structure and planning and shit, they would have already been in through these groups in front of ICE facilities and stuff and blown everything to shit. Listen, you're not going to keep showing me little children with whistles and fucking Goonies trash can lids and fucking blown up cartoon Tinkerbell dolls in their hands going, "We're going to get you!" And it's like, listen, only a fucking demon cannot see that. Okay? A demon cannot see that. And they will say, "Well, that's not our problem." And they'll go fuck their town and their society and their fast foods and shop and get more fucking diabetes and then come at me and you. That's what I'm saying. I get to see this for what it is. Part of me in me has bunch of power. And it's like I'm a fucking messenger. But in between being a messenger, there's going to be, you got to deal with shit that you see, and then what you've been given. You don't have to see the future of where everything's going. They tell you in their black magic movies, every fucking one of them. It might not be in all those same ways, but eventually it'll happen. Since 2020, that impulse, which was Satan, if you study Steiner, Golgotha come in, the event of Golgotha 2,000 years ago, and it's cosmic energy. We're going to use those words. So the same way this demon of Devok, of COVID, came in 2020, impulses, all the fake graduating demon classes are growing into these careers. So eventually they'll have all the careers set up to where they'll just go grab people. All these little fucking children run around with no skills at all. "Oh no, you're a threat to society. You've got hateful speech." Going in there, it's fucked up, and the parents and grandparents can't see that their children's going to lock them up down the road. "You don't understand. We are mind controlled from birth and given all these chemicals, and we're turned into demons. And we go to these big churches, these fucking demon satanic factories." Oh, I gotta go. I love you.